Welcome back to another episode of Buzzworthy Business. I'm Steve Strum. Next to me, as always, I can't do it without him, the illustrious Colonel Chris Budihas.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Steve.
It's been a minute, but I know a lot about you.
You do.
I do. Maybe too much.
Terrible.
Maybe too much. But we're not here to talk about you. Today, we're here to talk about Audrey. Welcome to the show, Audrey. Tell us a little bit about your business. You are a licensed mental health counselor.
Licensed clinical social worker.
Gotcha. Licensed clinical social worker.
Yes.
And you own a business, Beaches Therapy.
Therapy, yeah.
I want to make sure I get all that right. What is that?
Beaches Therapy, well, we've been in business for 10 years. I started it as a solo practitioner, and it's morphed into a group practice. We focus on evidence-based treatments. We work with children, teens, young adults, parents, families. Like we work with the spectrum. We're really focusing on anxiety disorders, emotional dysregulation, self-harm, those really big emotions, depression, anxiety, social anxiety, and ADHD and OCD, trying to figure out like how to navigate that. And we work with everybody involved. We don't work with just, the goal isn't to just work with one person. The goal is to work with everybody that's affected. And so all the support players as well need to learn skills and improve and get better.
So, Chris, we see a lot of these words thrown out there, and as parents, our kids are a little older, but you don't do kids, you do everybody, but we're seeing a lot of these words, and a lot of those things, we read them as lay people, but we don't understand those.
True. Yeah.
And whether it's people coming out of the military, kids that are dealing with post-COVID, these are very important things that we're seeing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, you've seen the evolution of mental health over the last 20 years of practicing. What are some of the big changes?
Well, distraction, right?
Okay.
People not being focused, people not being able to be social, like we're sitting here talking, being able to pick up the phone and call somebody, right? That's
I had to remind people, there's a phone function on this device, right?
It's a little green button.
Yeah, you can call me, not text me everything.
The fall of communication skills. I think that's been really major, and being able to feel safe, seen, heard, and understood is really what we focus on. And so being able to focus on validation and having people, when you validate somebody, doesn't mean you're agreeing with them, that doesn't it feel good to feel validated and feel heard, seen, and understood? And then you're able to open up more and be vulnerable and be able to connect, because in order to have connections, we have to be vulnerable. A lot of people just don't feel safe in the environment that they're in. So helping people figure out how to feel safer and how to create that change-ready environment in the homes and the workplaces.
So we're talking off camera. The COVID kind of changed that mental health, delivery space. With virtual, you see a lot of movement, or a lot of folks going to virtual treatment, advice coming in the office, or is it just immaterial, doesn't matter on the patient, as far as the results? Okay.
Well, it does matter to the patient and their comfortability and how they can access the services, right? Okay. So it's no longer a barrier that they have to come into the office, which has been huge. Okay. So we've actually launched, not that long ago, it's been really successful, a hybrid group model. So we offered dialectical behavior therapy group skills for adults and for teens and for parents as well. And so we're able to do a hybrid where they can come into the office, or for that same group period, they could be online. And so we have a big screen, and we were able to, we have 2 practitioners that run that, and so we're able to meet the needs of people who maybe they need the services, they need to learn the DBT skills, the emotional regulation skills is what those are, and mindfulness.
That's great.
Chris had, an exceptional point. The world changed. And interestingly enough, COVID was like 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. You think about that, and of course I look back.
Yesterday.
That's how I think about high school, but that happened to be 30 years ago. And so one of the things that I guess has evolved in the mental health space in COVID, right? You have not just kids, the parents, adults. The world changed from a way that we interact with humanity, possibly forever. What are some of the things that your firm are doing? Because you work as a team, it's not just you, and you're not in your little pods and stuff like that. How is your team different in the way that you are approaching that family mental health space?
Right. Well, we offer services for everybody. So we have parent parent groups as well as teen groups and adult groups. And we're trying to throw more group therapy out there because people need to connect in order to heal, in order to get better.
That's a good point.
And then the majority of people that come into Beaches Therapy feel like they're the only person that's ever gone through this, or they're embarrassed, or they're not able to share with other people. And so being able to...
Hold that real quick.
Sure.
Wait a second. Hey, Adam, you're going to have clackety, clackety, clackety of heels. Let's pick a cut point. No, you're good. Go ahead.
Go on.
Sure.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
We'll blame
Not
Cole.
you. No, I just know that that's going to echo down the thing. Where do you want us to pick it up at?
Honestly, maybe just restarting that.
How about post-COVID?
Post-COVID.
Everything changed. What are you guys doing differently?
That's a good idea.
Okay.
Back to truck.
Yeah.
Just see a nice part.
Right.
Rewind. All right, you ready?
The beauty of film.
All right. So one of the things that Chris, you had mentioned is that the world changed in COVID. And it's
Yeah.
very interesting because that was 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It seems like it was yesterday.
It did.
Almost like my high school career, which
Yep.
happens to be 30 years ago.
Right.
For yourself, when the world changed, the way that dynamics have changed, the delivery models have changed, how is the psychological universe of the impact of a thing like a COVID for your clients, and what do you guys do differently that helps to address that?
Well, that's two different questions. So I'll address the
You are a clinic licensed mental health person. Got to ask you the hardballs.
Right, exactly. So we're more accessible. So we offer phone coaching in between sessions, as well as teletherapy. So we're available on HIPAA compliant Zoom, as well as our electronic health record offers those services as well. We offer groups online. We offer hybrid groups online where they could choose to be in session or online for the same group. Like we have two adult DBT groups that meet on, one meets on Wednesdays from 12 to 1:15 during that lunch hour, and then we also, it was so popular we've created another one that's going to start on Fridays.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, and then we're also more accessible as clinicians in the evening, so it's also created a lot of work-life balance for parents that want their children seen, for my clinicians that work for me as a single parent. Like it's made me be able to alter my schedule to be more accessible and to be able to grow and offer more services, as well as courses and things like that.
And the way that you approach it, though, is that you truly have a team.
Yes, we work as a team.
So you don't have like this person over here is in their little world, and this person, and nobody knows what's going on. You all work together for the benefit of whether it's the adult, the child, the family.
Right, like in true DBT evidence-based practice, like you have to have a consultation team that meets weekly, and so all of us clinicians meet weekly as a consultation team, going over like where we're stuck, where like maybe who needs help, who needs support, and also as therapists need support.
Yeah.
So it's some heavy lifting, and it's carrying a lot of weight of we're getting dumped on a lot, right?
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
we have to be able to manage that.
Yeah, a lot
and
of pressure.
So being able to support each other as a whole has been really, really helpful. And then, we offer the phone coaching, and we offer group therapy and individual. And so that's the whole comprehensive DBT model. We also offer different types of evidence-based therapies as well.
Wow.
Well, I guess as we wrap it up, what would be if somebody's watching this video, right, and whether they're an adult struggling with things, their family that may have gone through divorce, or some type of a change, a death, there's all these trigger mechanisms that really send people into a hole.
Yeah.
What would be that one thing that you would say to our audience? Obviously, call you and have any questions, and we'll make sure to put all your links on the Daily News Network, which is our website, so you can check it out. But what's that one thing that you would say to them?
Reach out. Don't be by yourself. Like says something that there's other people that are going through what you're going through, and finding a therapist, or coming to us, we're going to teach you skills. We're going to teach you what to do instead of maybe that negative coping skill that you've taken on. Like we deal with a lot of self-harm. We deal with a lot of parent alienation is happening a lot. We're dealing with a lot of protective parent issues, and so being able to support those kids that are trying to figure out like what can you control, right? And so we also mindfulness, like slow down, pump the brakes.
Yeah.
Like just pump the brakes. Like being able to learn how to respond rather than react is key to being more effective in your life.
I love your business model because you offer so much.
Yeah.
And coming out of the military, we say there's no stigma on mental health, but at least for us there was.
Is.
So the ability to do the virtual, do the group, it gives you almost 31 flavors. It gives you opportunity to do what's right for you, and then kind of have that moral courage to step forward and say, hey, I need to talk to somebody. So I love what you guys are doing from a business perspective. I think it offers so much where you can go, I'm comfortable because I need to, pick this, vice that. So that's good.
Oh, thank you.
It's tough business. I mean, I know that
It is tough
I know,
business.
you mentioned when you were talking about how your therapists support each other.
Yes.
When you're dealing with things like, I mean, literally psychopath type situations, behavioral issues, borderline personality disorders.
Yeah.
That's a lot of a toll for you as a human that then has to go home and become mom. So, what inspired you to start your business? Because I get it. I mean, this guy over here, he decided to go and defend our country for 35 years, obviously in the pursuit of freedom. I'm the first person in my family to jump out of a blue collar into a white collar. What inspired you to start your business?
Well, my kids did, to be honest. I wanted to be able to be present as often as I could, and I wanted to also offer services for teens and parents that didn't exist when I was a kid growing up in Jax Beach, and I needed it. Like, I lost my father when I was 14, so I really struggled as an adolescent. And so there were no services. And then, here I was gone for 15 years. I came back, and there still was, the void was still there. So it was like, okay, well, I guess it's me. So, figuring it out and really being able to, creating more support for, what's going to affect my kids, because like, we live in the community, and I'm friends with parents, and I'm not friends with all the parents, obviously, but like, it's a ripple effect, right? So it's like the idea of putting some good out there, and so just creating that ripple effect, like keep it going, like that huge wave. You got to put the good out there, like to combat some of the negativity.
Well, I really appreciate the work that you're doing for families just like ours, for our community. We will absolutely make sure to hang all your links on the dailynewsnetwork.com, which is our website, so that people can come and check you out, schedule consultation, whatever, to fit their thing. Thank you so much for coming to join us. Chris.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. That was great.
Chris, I can't do without you, man. So
it's good seeing you.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for coming back home.
I know I had to go out for a week there. But guys, thank you so much for joining us on the Jacksonville Buzz. If you like us, share us. And remember, live with gratitude.